Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of Moments Unplugged with myself, Mandisa Singwane. Wow, I'm honestly so grateful and in awe from all the feedback and all the love from the previous episode. Thank you so much for engaging, for listening, and for coming back to me. I really appreciate it. Today's topic is one particularly really close to my heart, and as I was trying to decide on which topic to go with today, this one was just kind of like a continuous lingering thought, and so that's exactly what we're gonna do today. I'm not quite sure what the heading of the episode will be, but today I'd like to speak about seasons. What do I mean by that? Seasons are just phases in life that we all experience in different ways, and they all look different. They all have different durations. And it's just the cycles of life, man. Some will come and go. Some are much longer than others. Some they just come once in a lifetime, really, to be honest. And so we're going to speak on those, and yeah, I really hope you enjoy. And yeah, so as I've said, seasons can be different and they can be classified into sort of different categories, if I can say, and I'll give some examples. Some seasons can be seasons of mourning, other seasons of chasing, other seasons of resting, others isolation, and others reaping. There are many more. Many more, but those are just some few examples that came to mind for me as I was preparing this episode. And so another thing to remember about seasons is that they'll never be the same. So you might experience a season of mourning in 1 year, and then 2 years down the line experience mourning again, but it looks completely different. Or a season of reaping. I mean, what I was reaping in 2021 is completely different to what I'm reaping now. And I mean, it might be really aligned to the person that I was then and the person that I am now. But even then, it's the same sort of like concept, but just so much like more different. And honestly, never kind of just classified to look the same way. And if it doesn't look that way, it doesn't necessarily mean that that season is not the same. Do you understand what I'm saying? Some seasons are shorter than others. You might find that you have a season of reaping that is literally a week long, and then you're in sort of like a season of chasing again for 3 months. And that's the thing about seasons. If you don't embrace them in that moment, they might seem like they never happened. So it's very important to be as present as possible for every season and actually acknowledge it, and just try and actually be present and think of the moment that you're in, you know what I mean? And like I said, seasons come and go. The duration is never guaranteed. Now, when you're within your various seasons, some of these seasons may require you to really just surrender to them. What do I mean by that? Oftentimes, when we're in the difficult seasons, we like to believe that we're not. And by that I mean we just try and fight it, or do everything in our means or anything possible to sort of ignore it, run away from it, occupy ourselves with other things besides the hardship that we may be facing. And believe it or not, I kind of believe that makes it harder to actually navigate through the season because you're avoiding it. It's not necessarily that the season goes away any faster or any sort of thing like that, but instead it prolongs it, if anything, because you kind of feel like you're continuously fighting and you tire yourself out very soon. So when in difficult seasons, try your best to acknowledge it and accept it and then surrender to it. I think that will help in just navigating it a lot faster, and it allows you to be more present, and in that way you kind of just ease through it. I mean, I know it may be hard, but it's less hard when you're not fighting against it. Don't go against the current. And so, on the point of not going against the current, when you finally surrender to the season, surrender to God, ask Him for direction, and ask for a spirit of discernment. Ask for guidance, and I promise you, if there's anyone who's got your back, it's Him and the Holy Spirit. The next point is, you and those around you may not be in the same seasons. So oftentimes it happens that your friends actually in their seasons of achieving and their seasons of reaping, and you might be in your season of mourning. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think what becomes important in such a case is communication between all the parties. Being able to say to your friends, look, I'm going through a hard time right now and I can't really show up for you in the manner that you'd like me to, but I'm really happy for you and I'm so proud of you, is so important. You don't need to shy away and feel like you're failing them, because then it might feel like neglect to them, you know what I mean? So it's okay to not all be on the same page, but it's also very important to ensure that there's an open line of communication, because a lot of things can get misinterpreted in this case. Another point, what I think is really, really, really important with seasons is showing up, regardless of whether it is a good season, a bad season, you're tired, the season has been too long, or whatever the case may be. Showing up is so important. Show up when you're tired. Show up when you're angry. Show up when you're annoyed. Show up when you're hurt. Showing up in the most difficult seasons actually grooms you so much more for even the better seasons. It becomes so much easier to just show up. Don't fail yourself. Don't fail yourself by giving up on yourself. Like I said in the previous episode, you are your biggest investment. So the more you show up for yourself, it does so much more for you. So show up in your season, and it really, it honestly helps. Another thing that's really, really important is to identify that it's okay to let go of things, of people, of spaces that no longer align with your season or your purpose. Obviously, as we go through life in these various seasons, many things become revealed to us and many things become more evident. And with that means shedding off some people, shedding off things you used to do, some habits, and it's completely okay. Like, it really is not a you thing. Sometimes it's a season thing, but also a life thing. Like, some seasons in your life that may follow from that one may just not require that space of your life or that habit or that sort of thing that you like to do to be a part of your life anymore. And so you have to kind of just navigate your way out of it. And that's okay. Like, I think the sooner we accept that not everything is always going to be the same from start to finish, and the people that you had 5 years ago may not necessarily be the people that you have 5 years from now, it actually liberates you and frees you so much more. So when you have to let go, just allow yourself, honestly, experience the emotions, mourn it, and after that, dust yourself up and get up. Last but not least, looking at the seasons from hindsight is so much more rewarding and makes so much more sense. It's 100% okay if you can't quite grasp exactly what is happening in that moment, or you don't understand why. Like I said, just show up. You'll thank yourself later. And by that entire phrase or sentence, what I'm trying to say is most times when we're in seasons, we really honestly don't understand it. It's only like maybe a year from the time that you're in, you'll be able to say, I was going through that hardship because now I can I'm sort of stronger in this element than I was before, or whatever the case may be. But it's okay if you don't get it right now. But I think if you do the whole showing up thing, the communication thing, it will sustain you to endure the purpose of that season. And then when you get to the end, you can finally look at it, reflect on it, build back the puzzle with all the pieces of that season, and you're able to actually get the full picture. So yeah, that's all I'd like to say about seasons. Some of the few pointers or facts that I've grabbed from the various seasons and various experiences within my own life. And I hope you can get something from it. And yeah, let me know what you think about seasons. And I hope you have a great week and a productive one. And thank you for listening. We will check in soon. Bye.